Introduction. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Perfect English, the channel where you learn English through the world's best books. Today, we're diving into one of the most famous and influential self-help books of all time. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. This book has sold over 40 million copies and has been translated into more than 50 languages. It has influenced people from all walks of life, from world leaders and business executives to educators and everyday readers. Many consider it a life-changing guide that continues to shape the way we think about success, responsibility, and personal growth. Even after more than 30 years, the book is still a top recommendation in schools, companies, and leadership training all around the world. Why? Because it goes deeper than quick tips or hacks. It teaches us how to build strong character, make better decisions, and live with purpose. Let's take a moment to talk about the author. Stephen Covey was an American educator, speaker, and business expert. He had a PhD in religious education from Brigham Young University and spent most of his life teaching people how to grow, both professionally and personally. His ideas have inspired millions and shaped modern leadership thinking. In this video, we'll explore all 7 habits in clear, simple English. Whether you're a beginner or an intermediate learner, this video will help you understand important ideas about personal growth, learn useful vocabulary and phrases, and practice listening to natural, clear English. So grab a notebook, get comfortable, and let's learn English and life wisdom together. Background and philosophy of the book. Before we jump into the 7 habits, let's take a moment to understand the big idea behind this book. Stephen Covey believed that true success doesn't come from quick tricks or shortcuts. Instead, it comes from building good character, being honest, responsible, respectful, and thoughtful. He called this the character ethic. In the past, people focused on who they were on the inside. But in more recent times, many people started focusing only on how they appear. Covey called this the personality ethic. That means trying to look confident or successful without doing the deep inner work. Covey encourages us to go back to strong, timeless values like integrity, fairness, and kindness. That's what the 7 habits are all about. They help you grow from the inside out. Another key idea in the book is something called a paradigm shift. A paradigm is the way you see the world. A paradigm shift means changing the way you see things before you change your actions. For example, if you see someone being rude, you might feel angry. But if you find out they just lost their job, your feelings might change. That's a paradigm shift. Covey believed that when we change the way we see, we also change the way we act, and this is what leads to true growth. Now that you know the mindset behind the book, let's explore the first habit. Be proactive. Habit 1. Be proactive. Be proactive is the foundation of everything else. Stephen Covey says that being proactive means taking full responsibility for your life. You're not just a product of your circumstances, your background, or your emotions. Instead, you are the creator of your own choices. Proactive people are like the drivers of their own lives, making conscious decisions about where to go and how to respond. Reactive people, they're more like passengers, waiting for the world to decide their direction. Reactive people often blame their environment or other people for how they feel and act. They might say, "I can't. I have to. If only." But your words shape your reality. Proactive people use language that gives them power. "I'll find a way. I choose to. Let's look at the options." Covey explains that between stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space, we have the power to choose how we respond. That power is called freedom. The two circles. Control versus worry. Covey also introduces the idea of two circles. 1. The circle of concern. Things you care or worry about but cannot control. For example, your accent when speaking English or grammar mistakes you've already made. 2. The circle of influence. Things you can control, like how much time you practice speaking, whether you ask questions, or how often you watch English videos like this one. Proactive people focus on their circle of influence, and that's where real change happens. Instead of thinking, "I don't know enough words," a proactive learner says, "Today, I'll learn 5 new words and use them in a sentence." It's a small choice, but over time, those choices lead to powerful results. So habit 1 teaches us this. You are not a victim. You are the author of your life. And that's a powerful place to start. Next up is habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Imagine trying to build a house without blueprints. Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what many of us do in life, including when we learn English. We jump into exercises, apps, or grammar books without first asking what we're really trying to achieve. Habit 2 is about becoming the architect of your future. It means having a clear, specific picture of what success looks like before you take the first step. Instead of wandering aimlessly, you begin with a destination in mind. So pause and ask yourself, why am I really learning English? Not just to be fluent. Go deeper. Do you want to study overseas? Pass a job interview? Deliver a speech confidently? The clearer your vision, the faster and smarter your progress will be. The power of visualization. Once you have a clear goal, the next step is to picture it in your mind. This technique is called visualization, and it's used by Olympic athletes and top CEOs alike. They mentally rehearse their success before it becomes real. Try it yourself. Spend just 2 minutes a day imagining your English goal in vivid detail. See yourself giving a confident presentation. Hear your fluent conversations with friends. Feel the pride and joy of expressing yourself freely. This isn't daydreaming. It's a brain training method that builds motivation, confidence, and focus. Avoid the busy trap. Without a clear goal, it's easy to fall into the busy trap, doing random activities that lack direction. Habit 2 helps you break that cycle. Let's say your goal is to pass an English exam in 6 months. Suddenly, your daily actions become more focused. Practice mock speaking tests. Review past papers. Target your weak areas. Now, every action has a purpose. Action tip. The 10-year test. Ask yourself honestly, if I keep learning English the same way I am now, where will I be in 10 years? Let that question light a fire inside you. Now it's time to take action. Try writing a personal mission statement. Just a few lines that clearly describe why you're learning English and where you want it to take you. From today onwards, let that mission be your guide. Habit 3. Put first things first. Now that you've decided where you want to go in life, Habit 3 is about how to get there. Put first things first teaches us to manage our time with purpose. Covey reminds us that some tasks are simply more important than others, even if they don't feel urgent right away. Think about it. Checking your phone might feel urgent, but it's not always important. Studying, exercising, or spending time with family might not seem urgent, but these things are deeply important. To explain this idea, Stephen Covey introduces a tool called the time management matrix, which divides tasks into 4 quadrants. 1. Important and urgent. Do it now, like a medical emergency. 2. Important but not urgent. Plan for it, like learning English or exercising. 3. Not important but urgent. Delegate it, like some emails or messages. 4. Not important and not urgent. Avoid it, like endless scrolling on social media. According to Covey, highly effective people stay in quadrant 2, where they focus on important tasks early before they turn into emergencies. This is where real growth happens. It's where you build skills, improve your health, and strengthen relationships. Proactive people treat quadrant 2 activities like a doctor's appointment. They make them non-negotiable. They know that investing time in learning English or reflecting on their goals pays off in the long run. Meanwhile, reactive people get stuck in quadrant 1, constantly dealing with last-minute problems and unnecessary stress. So what's the lesson here? Don't just stay busy. Be intentional. Put first things first. Focus on what truly matters. Now that you're mastering your priorities, get ready for Habit 4. Think win-win. Habit 4. Think win-win. Now that you're managing your time and priorities, Habit 4 is about how you relate to other people. Think win-win means looking for solutions where everyone benefits, not just you, and not just the other person, but both of you. Covey explains that this isn't just a tactic or technique. It's a mindset, a way of thinking and interacting with others that's based on respect, abundance, and mutual success. He outlines 4 major ways people approach relationships, which he calls paradigms of human interaction. 1. Win-lose. I must beat you. This is toxic competition. One wins, one loses. 2. Lose-win. I'll let you walk over me. This is people-pleasing. You lose so others feel good. 3. Lose-lose. If I fail, I'm taking you down too. This is destructive and spiteful. 4. Win-win. Let's find a solution where we both thrive. This is the goal of Habit 4. Win-win thinking is at the heart of strong and healthy relationships, whether at home, at work, or with friends. Now think about an English study group. Some people might worry that if they share their notes, others could gain an advantage. That kind of thinking reflects a win-lose mindset. But now imagine a group where everyone brings something valuable, like notes, ideas, or feedback. Each person contributes, and as a result, everyone learns more. This is a true win-win situation. Instead of losing something, you're creating more value by learning together. To live with a win-win mindset, you need both courage and kindness. You must care about others' success while still valuing your own. Habit 4 teaches us this. In every relationship, don't ask who wins. Ask how can we both succeed. Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. We've now talked about managing yourself and working well with others. But there's one skill that can completely transform every relationship, and that's listening. Habit 5 is seek first to understand, then to be understood. Most of us do the opposite. We listen just enough to reply, but not to truly understand. Our minds are already forming a response while the other person is still speaking. Covey says that real communication begins when we stop talking and start truly listening. He explains that there are different levels of listening, and not all of them are effective. Selective listening is when we only hear what interests us. Evaluative listening means we judge and form opinions while the person is speaking. Autobiographical listening means viewing the conversation through the lens of our own experience, often thinking about how we would respond or offering advice too quickly. But the highest level is empathic listening. This means listening with the intention to truly understand, not just the words, but the feelings behind them. Empathic listening is powerful. It builds trust. It helps people feel heard, respected, and safe. And only after the other person feels understood should we begin to express our own views. So Habit 5 teaches us this. Stop trying to be interesting. Start being interested. Understand first. Then, and only then, speak your truth. Habit 6. 1 + 1 = 3. The math of synergy. Habit 6 explores the power of teamwork and how much more we can achieve when we shift from competition to true cooperation. Covey emphasizes the power of synergy, which happens when the whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts. In other words, 1 + 1 = 3. Synergy happens when people bring different backgrounds, experiences, and ideas to the table. Instead of clashing, they stay open and look for creative solutions together. True synergy begins when we learn to respect each other's differences. Instead of arguing about whose way is right, we ask a better question. What if there's a third option we haven't even considered yet? When we listen with curiosity and hold back judgment, we create space for ideas that none of us could have found on our own. Think about a team project. One person is great with visuals. Another is strong in writing. A third is good at organizing. Separately, each person can do something useful. But when they combine their skills and trust each other, something bigger and better emerges. That's synergy in action. And this doesn't just apply to big projects. You can experience synergy in everyday life, when solving a problem with your family, working with classmates, or learning English with friends who have different strengths. Synergy isn't always easy. It takes humility to accept other perspectives, patience to work through differences, and trust to build something together. But when those things come together, the result is full of energy, creativity, and real progress. So habit 6 reminds us. Great things happen when we stop competing and start cooperating. When we value each other's unique perspectives, we don't just compromise. We create something entirely new. Habit 7. Sharpen the saw. Imagine trying to cut down a tree with a blunt saw. It would take forever, wouldn't it? Life works the same way. If we never stop to sharpen the saw, we become tired, stressed, and far less effective. Habit 7 is about self-renewal. Regularly taking care of yourself so you can keep growing and performing at your best. This kind of renewal happens across 4 key areas of life. The physical dimension involves caring for your body through exercise, healthy eating, proper rest, and stress management. Without physical energy, everything else becomes more difficult. The mental dimension focuses on keeping your mind active and engaged. This might include reading, learning new things, writing, or setting aside time for reflection and thoughtful planning. A sharp mind leads to better focus and clearer decisions. The social and emotional dimension is all about relationships. It's about connecting with others, building trust, showing empathy, and managing your emotions. When you feel understood and supported, you're much more resilient in life's challenges. The spiritual dimension is deeply personal. It might be prayer, meditation, time in nature, or simply reflecting on your values and purpose. It's what helps you feel centered, inspired, and connected to something greater than yourself. Many people skip this step because they feel too busy. But here's the truth. Taking time to recharge doesn't slow you down. It makes you stronger, faster, and more effective in every part of life. So habit 7 reminds us. Take care of yourself, because you are your greatest tool. Conclusion and final reflections. And that brings us to the end of our journey through the 7 habits of highly effective people. Let's quickly review the 7 habits. 1. Be proactive. Take responsibility for your choices. 2. Begin with the end in mind. Know your goals and values. 3. Put first things first. Focus on what truly matters. 4. Think win-win. Find solutions that benefit everyone. 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Listen with empathy. 6. Synergize. Work together to create better results. 7. Sharpen the saw. Take care of your physical, mental, social, emotional, and spiritual well-being. These habits aren't just tips, they're a way of living. If you practice them, step by step, you'll become stronger, wiser, and more confident in both life and language. Your turn. Which habit will you start practicing today? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. If you found this helpful, give it a like, subscribe to Perfect English for more book-powered learning, and share it with someone who's learning English and wants to grow. Thanks for watching. And remember, every day is a chance to become your best self, in English and in life. See you in the next video.